first question is for Colonel Stock. For hundreds of years, the United States has recognized the importance and the need for immigrants to be part of our military. In 1952, this concept was codified in the Immigration and Nationality Act, the INA. The INA has specific provisions dedicated to military naturalizations that waive certain requirements such as residency and physical presence, as well as naturalization and biometric fees that civilians generally have to pay. In addition to military recruiters use naturalization as a way to attract legal permanent residents to join the military. My question, Colonel Stock, is this. Given the history of immigrants serving in the U.S. military and specific provisions in the INA detailing who is eligible for military naturalizations, can you tell us what supports and resources are currently provided by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and the Department of Defense to help military service members complete the necessary paperwork for naturalization and process their applications?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, right now it's pretty much a mixed bag. USCIS does a very good job with its website, posting information about the process, and it does allow military members to file applications electronically. Unfortunately, the services do very little at the moment to help out. And most military members, for example, during basic training, have no access to the internet, to a printer, to a computer, so it's impossible for them to file an application electronically while they're in training, and they can't access the resources.
That's a great example. Just a quick follow-up, sorry to interrupt, but was there a time when there were more supports in place to help with military naturalizations? And obviously the question for today would be, what can Congress do to ensure that USCIS and DOD are providing the necessary supports and resources?
There was a time, Mr. Chairman, this was between 2009 and 2018 when the Basic Training Naturalization Initiative was in place. We had a meeting, I was working with the Department of Defense at the time, and we met with DHS, and we decided that it would save the government millions of dollars, promote military readiness, allow service members to be utilized to their best capacity if we naturalize them as quickly in their service as it was possible to do. And so USCIS dedicated teams at the small number of military basic training sites found inside the United States. And these were expert teams that could process applications, do all the background checking and the vetting, test people and so forth. And they were extremely efficient and really good at what they did. And then the system was broken in 2018. Applications are now filed all over the place, interviews all over the world. Often we have adjudicators who don't know anything about military naturalization making decisions in the cases, and it's complete chaos, to put it bluntly.
So if I connect some dots in your response there, reinstating these programs would be a big help.
Reinstating these programs is easy, and it would go far to solving all the problems. And it would also save the government millions of dollars.
Okay, there may be some more follow-up there, but I want to make sure I ask a question of Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, you're still with us. Veterans that are deported from the United States are often removed, as in Mr. Bailey's case, years, in some cases even decades after a criminal conviction. Many of them have been rehabilitated after they've paid their debt to society and are productive members of their communities. Pulling them out of their homes for previous infractions seems cruel and unnecessary. According to the report by the ACLU, nearly all deported veterans have left behind families who have struggled in their absence. In addition, veterans are often forced to return to a country they do not know and have few ties to. Mr. Bailey, I want to thank you for your testimony. It's clearly difficult for you to talk about your deportation and separation from your family. Can you just spend another minute on what your life has been like since returning to Jamaica and how your family was affected back in the United States when you were forced to leave them? And if you can just spend a brief amount of time telling us what it would mean for you to have your case reopened and reconsidered.
Yes, sir. Well, I left Jamaica when I was pretty young, 16. So I really didn't have a life in Jamaica. Being deported here, life have been really, it's hard to imagine. I came here with nothing except a pair of jeans, that one that I put on when ICE took me. I had to sleep on the floor. I had nowhere to live. I was just dropped off in a country. But as time goes by, Jamaica is a hard place to survive. The crime rate is high here. Poverty is high. Deportees are stigmatized. So I live my life in fear because we are often the target of some vicious attacks because I don't know what it is. They stigmatize people who are being deported from the United States. It's not just me, hard on me. It's on my family. My mother, who is in the United States, who her health has declined from all the grief and the sorrow and all the emotion stress she's going through, to know that her son's life is in danger and I'm not home. My daughter has suffered tremendous mental health. When I left, she tried to commit suicide twice. She had to get a lot of counseling. She didn't make it to college. You know, me and my kids was really close. My son, as we speak here today, is in the penal system. I just can't forget the 4 words he always tell me when we used to talk until I can't hear from him again. I'm scared to wonder if something happened. He always used to say, "Dad, you're not here, Dad. You're not here, Dad." My smaller brother, he served in the military because he had followed my footsteps. They said big men don't cry, or men are not supposed to cry, but I cry with my brothers, man. It's hard. You know, my sister, everyone is in the United States except me. If I should get a chance, just a chance, this is something that me and my family hoped and prayed for, just a chance. So I could come back and be in my kids' life and bridge that gap and be a father figure. Now I can't do nothing about the past, but I can steer the future. I'm just asking for a chance to come home to the country I love, the country I serve, the States of America.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Thank you.